Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Indriana Putri Marianingrum, and I'd like to explain the material about language, dialect, and varieties. Next slide. First is definition of language. According to Heike, it can define language is part of system of communication between individuals and social phenomenon. There are various kinds of language. Language can be a person identity. According to Hogan, 1966, language and dialect are ambiguous terms. Okay, according to Lexical Dictionary, language is the system of communication used by a particular country or community. The meaning language used by a particular community, its mean language relates to society or social life. So the relationship between language and society can be learning sociolinguistics. And the area of language and society is intended to show how our see of language is governed by such factors as class, gender, or race. Okay, next slide. Language can be used with two ways. The first way is standard language, and the second is non-standard language. Okay, standard language is language that used with formal language, example in education or working place. And then non-standard language is language used in non-formal situation, for example, talking with friends. Okay, next slide. Definition about dialect. According to Richard Nordquist, a dialect is a regional or social variety of language distinct by pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary, and the part of language which is different from the grammatical, phonology, social class, and etc. Dialect is a variety of language that signals where a person comes from, but it also has some application in relation to a person's social background or occupation. Dialect is the language used based on the people, area, or environment. Some people say that dialect is pronunciation accent. Okay, the next is dialect have two kinds. The first kind is dialect prestige, and the second is dialect stigma. The dialect prestige is dialect which comes from education process, and the dialect stigma is kind of dialect which comes from interaction process but of subconscious or natural process during communication. Okay, and the last material is definition of varieties. According to Hudson and Ferguson, agree in defining variety is term of specific set of linguistic item or human speech pattern which we use uniquely associate with some external factors. It can be concluded that varieties is a general term for any distinctive form of language or linguistics. Okay, maybe that's all from me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.